Hey, Pope, I think it's time that we cue up the music.
We are the New York Knicks. 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 Say, go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say, go New York, go New York, go.
Go New York, go New York, go! Booyah, baby! 9 in a row for our squad. Don't forget, it wasn't a long time ago where we wrote the Knicks off. Gibbs was fired.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All of a sudden, we're the hottest team in the country, or hottest team in the NBA. Maybe best team ever. Who knows? We are your hosts from the world famous now Basement Sports Podcast. Thanks to our man over here, who's got to be on the Mount Rushmore of New York Knicks fandom. He's up there. If you guys, if you live under a rock, if you didn't know, my buddy over here, Pokey, was at the Knicks-Celtics game the other night.
Yep.
Epic game.
Great game.
Double overtime. We got the win without Jalen Brunson. We could give a shit if the Celtics didn't have Robert Williams or
Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon. We were down arguably our best player.
You're the better team.
Player.
You're the better team. Yeah, at home.
Playing at home.
And we have a better player out. That Jalen Brunson's more impactful than those two combined.
Yeah, exactly. Combined. Exactly. And what do? We went into your house. We went into your hood. And we fucked you up.
We walked in your trap, and we took over your trap.
Emmanuel Quickly. What a damn game. But as I was saying, he's at the game. I'm telling him, he's telling me, I'm telling him, perfect chance, get some content, especially if we come out with a win. He hops on the tee, he hops on the train, gets a great video.
If you haven't seen it, I will put it in, edit in right here.
Absolutely.
Boston Celtics! What happened? How you lose to the New York Knicks without Jalen Brunson? 9 in a row for the Knicks, baby!
164,000 views and counting.
On that's just our personal TikTok.
Exactly. We made it onto overtime.
Shout out OT for the love.
We got some love from House of Highlights, from Dick's Sporting Goods, just out of the blue. We've gained a ton of followers on TikTok, and we're hoping to gain some more. So if you haven't followed us yet, go ahead and do so.
Jordy Bloom, who, if you don't know them by that name, he is the Bing Bong guy. He showed me some love in my DMs, called me a legend, so shout out to Bloom. He's a legend himself.
Absolutely. TikTok's got over 36,000 likes.
Yeah.
And counting.
House of Highlights did call me the king of Knicks fans.
They said it. We didn't.
Did I throw that in my IG bio? Of course I did, because that's a flex if you ask me. And you said Mount Rushmore. I didn't say it. I think that's a little bit too much. There's a lot of dudes.
I'd put him up there.
There's a lot of dudes in front of me. I think what makes my video different and special, like we've seen crazy videos, the double OT or the OT, was it OT or double OT when they beat the Celtics in the opener last year?
It might have been a couple OTs.
Nonetheless, RJ's buzzer, Knicks fans were in the streets going crazy. That's the Bing Bong video, the KD, don't you regret not coming to the Knicks? There's a couple absolute bangers that those guys probably above me on the Mount Rushmore argument. The thing that makes my video great and special, though, I think, I did it in fucking Boston, bro. I did that shit in enemy territory, and I did it on the tee. I couldn't run if I wanted to, if I needed to. A lot of people ask me if I got my ass whooped.
It took guts.
I didn't.
It took balls.
I didn't get my ass whooped. I made it out unscathed. A lot of fans were just pissed. It was a Sunday night. You just lost in double OT. I heard the big things I heard was that I was fat. Yeah, I've been fat for almost 23 years. I know. We didn't have Brogdon Williams. Hold my nut, bro. We didn't have Brunson. And talk to us come playoff time. Listen, Magic Johnson tweeted it. I'm going to back it. The Knicks match up very well with this Celtics team. Be careful what you wish for, because the Knicks have won the last 3 meetings against the Boston Celtics, including when they had to go to the fake-ass Garden in Boston.
Absolutely.
So keep wanting the Knicks in the playoffs.
Knicks are matching up well with any team in the East. I mean,
the East don't the West don't scare me. The East don't scare me.
No
this Knicks team is legit.
I don't know what else I could say or add to that.
I'm fucking in love with this Knicks team.
We are cooking right now.
We are recording this on Tuesday, March 7th. Hopefully the Knicks do what they're supposed to do tonight at home at the Real Garden, taking on the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo Ball. I want to go back and talk a little bit more about the double OT win that we just watched on Sunday night against the 2 seed currently in the East, the Boston Celtics. I talked my talk as soon as I sat down in my seat. The whole section hated me from jump. And I really lost my excuse as soon as Emmanuel quickly walked down the court and popped the 3, and I screamed, "No Brunson, no problem." We had to win from that point on because I would have been jumped if we lost.
Could have been a bad day.
It was a back and forth game. There was a point in the second half, early third quarter. We were down about 12, and we weren't really making a run, and I kind of lost hope. I'm going to be honest. I was feeling really down. I was like, all right, like, we don't have JB, bro. Like, who's going to step up and make this run? And then Tatum got subbed out, and I turned to my buddies who I was with. I said, this is the time. Like, this is the run. You have to make the run now without Tatum on the court. Knicks didn't really make the run. I think they cut it from like 12 to maybe 8 while Tatum was out before he came back in. I'm like, bro, that's just not good enough. And then Tatum comes back in, and then that's when the Knicks went on the run.
Yeah, it was like next thing you knew, like Emmanuel quickly was taking over.
Emmanuel!
Everything he put up was going in, and then it was like next thing you know, Knicks are only down 4, and then next thing you know, it's 2.
And you know what?
Now we're winning.
Like, huge fucking shout out to Emmanuel quickly, bro. Like, this is a dude that some Knicks fans threw in trade packages, whether it was for Donovan, whether it was, for OG. Some people really had the hard on for OG Anunoby at this deadline. I was a guy that was saying, listen, Emmanuel quickly is absolutely untouchable. Like, obviously not untouchable legit, but like, it would have to be something amazing because he is a dog.
Extremely valuable to this team.
Listen, there's 58 minutes in a double OT game. This man played 55 of them. Okay? First of all, for Tibbs to ask someone to do that is wild in its own right. The fact that Quickly did it is amazing. And he was efficient in his career-high 38-point game. He had 8 boards, 7 assists.
Only 1 turnover.
Only 1 turnover.
5 minutes.
And he went 15 to 28 from the field, which is 53.6%. And you could say, 53.6%, that's not great. When you play fucking 55 minutes, that is extremely efficient. My voice is still recovering from the game. He went 5 of 12 from deep, which is 41.7%. I mean, what more can you ask of Emmanuel quickly? And it's little plays on defense, too. Like, Marcus Smart, who's a fucking bitch, right? He's pesky on defense as much as you fucking hate him, right? Emmanuel quickly, though, fucking that inbound pass that he stole, like, that's 2 free fucking points, bro. In a tie game that went to OT, that's a basket you look back on and be like, bro, IQ stole those 2 points on an inbound. Like, that's fucking huge. So, shout out to Quickly.
A huge floater to tie the game in the first overtime.
Yeah, his float game is phenomenal. And this is where Celtics fans really said they missed the presence of Rob Williams was in that floater game. Listen, if both teams are completely healthy, the floater isn't as effective because we have JB and he plays a different style than IQ, so bada bing, bada boom, shit happens.
They were in that game, too, because of Al Horford hitting a lot of clutch threes.
Fucking dude, that dude turned into Chef Curry, dude.
And he's not getting those kind of minutes if Rob Williams is healthy.
Exactly, bro.
But talking about Emmanuel quickly, too, that's the 6th man of the year. That's the 6th man of the year. He's getting that award. He's gonna be the first Knick to win that since J.R. Smith.
He's the betting favorite as of right now.
He's got it.
He's got to.
Listen, I mean, if he played on a lot of other teams in this league, he'd be a starter. He'd maybe have a little bit of a bigger role. Love the guy, and I'm glad you brought up the Mitchell trade. I want to give that, a few minutes.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Stephen A. Smith, a lot of people out there.
Stephen A. started.
We'll look at this team, talk about how good they are, but then it comes up. Imagine where they could be though with Mitchell. We still need that star. Do we not realize that
the part of the success is the depth?
Yeah, if we traded for Donovan Mitchell, there would be no Emmanuel Quickly. There would be no Quentin Grimes.
Might be no RJ. Might be no RJ.
Possibly no RJ. We're losing draft picks, but also one thing that people aren't bringing up. We probably want to get Josh Hart at the deadline because Cam Reddish could have been somebody thrown in that trade.
Exactly.
Draft picks would have been thrown in that trade, and we wouldn't have had the assets at this year's deadline in 2023 to go out and get Josh Hart, who...
Greatest Knick of all time. Not known.
Undefeated. Been a dog. I love him on this team. I love his game. The guy could shoot pretty well. He could do enough. I mean, we're not asking him to get 15 a night.
No.
But he could shoot the ball pretty well. He's a great defender. but he's also got like that attitude.
And he's got the
that
IQ,
swagger, that New York,
Yeah.
like him and like this team in its
Him
entirety.
and Quickly were born to play for New York.
It's got. I mean, granted, we weren't around then, but we've heard the stories. It's got to remind you of those '90s Knicks teams that just showed up every night. They fought their asses off, competed, and played hard. And they do that now. I mean, guys like you said, Quickly's playing 55 minutes the other night. Randall and Brunson are giving you well over 30.
RJ also gave you 50 in the double OT. Julius gave you 46. Mitch gave you 43. Hugh Grimes, who I have my own bone to pick with, he played 25 minutes.
He's got to step it up. He cost me the other day in a parlay. I think it was 8 legs, and everything hit except him 5+ points. That's there are no excuses for that. But a lot of dogs on this team.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but this is the most fun I've had as a Knicks fan. Obviously, you could talk about that 2013 season with Melo when he went off. I look at that and I look at Linsanity as being the 2 best Knicks moments of my life.
Sad.
And right now, man, I'm on the edge of my seat.
This team
I'm
has
eager
potential.
every night. And I'm looking. I mean, you said it earlier. The Celtics, watch out. No team wants to play. I mean, you do not want to have to play this team in the playoffs. You do not want to match up with them in the first round. Have to play at MSG. This is also a team that's played good on the road. Like we said, they went to the fake garden and got a win the other night.
I have a bone to pick with that place too. One of the and again, listen, I've said it in the open. I've been fat for 23 years. Okay, I know what it's like to be fat. I understand that I'm going to be uncomfortable in certain situations. These seats were tiny, okay? We went to MSG. I didn't complain about the seats being tiny.
No.
I was fine. As a fat guy, I was like, this stinks, but I get it because I'm fat. TD Garden seats were fucking tiny. America's fat nowadays, all right? Like, it sucks, but let's figure that out. I've never seen an arena or stadium with less fucking replays. Okay, I maybe got 4 replays. There was a play that was challenged. We didn't fucking get a replay on the big board. What the fuck is that, TD Garden? Fucking ridiculous.
I love when people say, "Oh, that's the real Garden," because
bullshit.
Look at the banners we got. We won all these championships with Bill Russell.
That's another bone I have to fucking pick.
That doesn't make your stadium that much better or that much worse than us. I mean,
I have a fucking bone to pick with Celtics fans. You know how many because I was celebrating this fucking win, and they all chirped me about playoffs and this and that, and I had at least 3 I can remember vividly tell me something about championships. And I said to each and every one of them, but the fucking Yankees fans are the ones harping championships? Shut your goddamn mouth!
Now he knows how us Red Sox fans feel when Yankees
I don't
fans
be chirping
well.
no chips.
But either way, sure you got a nice. I haven't been. It's got some history. I'm sure it's a nice little arena.
It's alright.
But it doesn't compare to
It's
the
not
Mecca.
the Mecca!
So anyone out there, enough with the disrespect.
Yeah,
man.
don't
We
disrespect
don't
the
give
fucking
a
Mecca.
One thing I wanted to talk about, and I've seen a lot of other people throw this out. Like, it seems like people are still like down on the Knicks.
Yeah.
Where I've seen people say like, Wobe, who I like following on Twitter, said, do I see this Knicks team competing for a championship? Absolutely not. But are they? But do you want to face them in the first round of the playoffs? Absolutely not. And I agree with the second part. Listen, I'm not gonna go out there and say, this team could win a championship, blah blah blah. But I'm also gonna not say it. I'm not gonna write these guys off and say that they can't compete. Don't forget, a few years ago, the Atlanta Hawks made the Eastern Conference Finals and took the Bucks, who won the finals, to 6 games. Nobody really saw that coming, and we've seen where that team is now, that franchise. So I mean, there is no reason to me where the Knicks, if we don't catch up to Cleveland and get that 4 seed, I think that's going to be the matchup. Round 1,
it's going to be a matter of who has
barring,
something crazy.
Something
Sixers will really have to collapse.
I like that matchup for us. I think we could win that. I'm not going to say easy. I'm not going to say, whatever, but we could we could definitely win that. And then that's lining up for a matchup against the Celtics.
No, it'd be the 1 seed, which right now is the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Which
I'm rooting for the Celtics to get the 1 because like I said earlier, we match up phenomenally with this Celtics team. The Bucks are the scariest team in the East, in my opinion. They're who I'm most scared of.
I think I'd agree. Them healthy and everything clicking as
Like,
far as Middleton.
The
and
Sixers,
Holiday.
you know, they're good. They're a good basketball team.
But I
I'm
think
not
we
gonna sit here
could
and-
hang with them too as
Most
well,
def.
and we have. You know, we beat them recently as well. That's
like,
another thing about this win streak, and you know the way that we've played since 2023
Started.
You know, we've beaten the Sixers, we've beaten the Bucks, we've beaten the Celtics twice, we've beaten the Jazz during this 9-game win streak. We're beating good teams. So,
Yeah.
dude, don't give me that we can't make a run and compete for a final. Like, I'm not gonna set our bar at making the playoffs or just one series win. I think that this team could be a little bit more capable than that. And you do not want to face the Knicks in the Garden, when things are rolling right, when that place is buzzing, because that is not an easy place to play. Credit to Trae Young and that Hawks team because, 2 years ago they did go into the Garden and step up. But I think you're foolish if you're expecting everybody to come in and do that in the playoffs. I don't see it.
This
I don't
Knicks
see it
team
happening.
is different, okay? They're going to win a playoff series, if not 2. If not 3.
Like you
Shit,
said earlier,
maybe the whole damn
sixth
thing.
Sixth man of the year. Julius Randle should absolutely be an All-NBA player. And even though Jalen Brunson didn't make the All-Star team, he should be in consideration
That's
for one of those
fucking horseshit.
awards. I mean, we could still talk about that. Thibs, who we've been down at times, give the guy his respect.
Bro,
Give him his props. Yeah,
there's a tweet. I don't know who said it. It was just some random Knicks fan. And I've said it to you a couple times. And it's a picture of Tibbs. And he goes, not once did I've always believed in this man or something. And then it's like, in parentheses underneath it, I've doubted this man many times.
Yeah.
It's like-
Picture of Thibs. It says, never doubted this man, fire emoji. And then a couple spaces below, in parentheses, I doubted this man so many times.
And I think that's how all Knicks fans
That
feel about
couldn't be more
Tibbs.
accurate.
I think that's how we all feel about Coach Tibbs.
Now looking
bro.
at it,
Nothing but love for you, Tibbs.
he won Coach of the Year 2 years ago. His name needs to
To
be
be in
thrown
there
into
again.
that conversation. I mean, if the Knicks get a top 4 seed in the East this year,
Not for
Doing what
nothing.
they've done,
They'd have
man.
the second most wins if they were in the fucking West, dude. Like the fucking.
don't get people, and we may be people when I'm talking about this. That will leave that for you to decide. People were calling for his head. Maybe we were people. Maybe we weren't people.
That TikTok may or may not have been deleted.
People were calling. People were calling for Julius Randle's head last year.
I never called for King Julius's head. That you could fucking check those
That
receipts.
was-
I never called for his
That
head.
was, I mean, was he great last year? By no stretch of the imagination, but he put up solid numbers.
Not for nothing. I've been a Knicks fan for too damn long to kick somebody like Julius to the curb.
Yeah.
When somebody like Julius comes around and does what he does
It
2
was
years
more
ago,
so though. It was more so though, like his attitude.
that yeah,
Like,
most definitely.
It wasn't like that. His play was. I wish he handled things a little bit better last year, but I'm with you.
But we saw that in the Celtics game on Sunday night when he got that tee because he was pissed about the call and then he kind of
Bumped
budged the ref.
bumped the ref, which what a
Last
freaking pussy.
year he gets tossed in that moment. You literally saw him on the court do a meditation thing and like settle himself down, and he was like, "All right, like I gotta lock the fuck back into this game." You don't get that last year for Julius, so that is a good point. His attitude was a
If
problem.
there's
last year.
anything though more I could ask from Julius and from Thibs in big time situations, crunch time, could we stop going to give the ball to Julius at the 3-point line and let him back somebody down? I mean, Jalen Brunson gets to the rim at ease and could facilitate for others. Emmanuel quickly did that the other night. Please, for the love of God, take that out of the playbook.
Please.
But as I was saying, people were calling for Thibs' head this year. Randall's head last year. We couldn't get Donovan Mitchell in a trade, and I mean, some people out there, went crazy about it. I thought it wasn't a ridiculous
The
thing.
price
to sell
for
the
Mitchell was
farm.
ridiculous.
But coming into this year, so many people were down on the Knicks. It felt like, ceiling for them was, playing maybe at the very least. I wouldn't even go as far as saying a top 6 seed, which guarantees you the playoff. I would say like a top 8 seed was probably the ceiling for this team that most people would say. And right now, they're a game out of 4th, 9-game win streak. They're rolling. I mean, how could you go with anybody? I mean, how could you not put Thibs into that conversation.
He's 8th right now in the betting odds for Coach of the Year. Mike Brown is the heavy favorite. Obviously, what he's done in Sacramento is phenomenal.
I would agree with Missoula too, but I would agree with Missoula because you know the situation that he came into as far as what happened with Ime Udoka.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this team went to the finals last year, so
yeah, like
I mean, you're taking over for
Tibbs.
They went to the finals last year, and they added Malcolm Brogdon. They added Gallinari. Gallinari hasn't played because of an injury, but they improved that roster a little bit.
Yeah, he should be over Budenholzer. He should probably be over Bickerstaff. He should be over Mike Malone. Come on, show Tibbs some love, bro.
Mike Malone has the 3 straight MVPs after this year on his team.
Yeah.
Along with a lot of other solid pieces and players.
Yeah.
Missoula took over the team that made it to the finals last year. The Knicks sucked last year, and, like people have been ready to do after every season, just burn that place down. And he has us in this spot.
Listen.
Now, let's see.
Shout out Tibbs for the stability.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. One of the freest bets I've ever placed in my life was at the break. The Knicks over-under for wins was 42.5. Talk about free money.
39 now, right?
39 now.
Need 4 more wins. Thanks for letting me know about that. I would have easily taken that. I saw
That's on me.
Coming into this year, their over-under was at 38.5.
Yeah.
And
that shit's smack, baby.
They're there with 16 left to go. What are your final predictions for this Knicks team? Go.
Realistically, optimistically, we're winning the whole damn thing. Realistically speaking, I'll say this. I'll say this, first of all. Fucking win a playoff series. If you don't win a playoff series with this fucking team, the whole season was for naught.
That's going to be tough.
Right? Like, if you don't, especially if you lose to Donovan Mitchell. Because then I got to listen to Stephen A. talk about that shit for years. And I'm going to fucking do some things I can't say on camera. Okay? I think they win round 1. If it's the Cavs, easy. Whether it be them, whether it be, maybe it's Brooklyn, I don't know. It's probably the Cavs. Win that one. Second round, if you get Milwaukee second round and lose, put up a fight, please. Take it to 6, maybe even 7. If it's Boston, I want to win it. Like I said, you match up so well with Boston.
And then he's getting back on the tee and he's recording another TikTok.
I might need to bring some security with me if I do it in the playoffs. But yeah, if you get the Celtics round 2 or even Philly round 2, I want to see 2 wins in the playoff, 2 series wins. If it's Milwaukee and you lose, I want to see you put up a fight. That's what I'm comfortable with. The only team I'm truly comfortable with losing to right now is Milwaukee. Obviously, things can change. Boston has more talent if they get rolling. But, we've shown that we can hang with them. Jason Tatum, I'm more out on Jason Tatum the more I see. I just feel like, and I know we just dropped 40 on our head almost in a double OT game. There's something off about him that just don't sit right with me. I don't know if it's because he stinks every time I bet on him or what. But, there's just so many games where he puts up complete fucking duds. You don't see Giannis putting up a 3 for 14 shooting night. You just don't see that. So that's my bone to pick with Tatum. So that's my expectations of Knicks. You have to fucking win one series, and if you lose to anyone, it better be the fucking Bucks. That's where I'm at with this team.
So I'm gonna say Knicks finish 49-33. That's finishing 10-6 the rest of the way. Which you want their schedule? Yeah, their schedule is easy.
Hornets, and then Hornets at home tonight, and then you hit the road. Kings, Clippers, Lakers, Blazers. You get the Nuggets and Wolves at home. You go to Miami and Orlando. You host Houston, Miami. You go to Cleveland. You host Washington. You go to Indiana and New Orleans, and then you end it with a home game against the Pacers.
So listen, I'm gonna predict 10-6 just to
call it safe, but there's definitely more than 10 wins in there, in my opinion.
Exactly. They're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna get either that 4 or 5 seed. They're winning round 1. I'm going to say they take it to 6 games round 2, and that's when the season will end. Against who? I don't know. But that's just me. I don't want to be too optimistic. But for any Knicks fans out there who are cautiously optimistic, like Wobe, who's saying, yeah, we could win, round 1, but kind of don't set your expectations much higher than that. Like we said earlier, this is a team that they could go toe-to-toe with anybody out there. I firmly believe that. especially like with Brunson too. The addition of Brunson and everything he's doing for this offense, this team, we know that. But don't forget the fact that this guy's a winner. He's a champion in college. He balled out with the Mavs in the playoffs last year. You know he's going to show up and step up in the playoffs, which is going to take a lot of pressure off Julius Randle, take a lot of pressure off RJ Barrett. And that's going to be huge for the Knicks because really outside of Derrick Rose in 2021, they didn't have anybody to turn to in that playoff series against the Hawks. Jalen Brunson is going to be the same guy he's been in the regular season, even better. And I think the wild card is, can we get Julius Randle to be who he is? And then obviously you talk about, the guys like RJ stepping up and doing their thing.
That's the
blah, blah, blah.
RJ's such an X factor with this team, bro.
Yeah, but when it comes to the playoffs, though, we can't have Randle play like he did 2 years ago and expect to do much.
Yeah.
If he's playing like he's been, this entire
having JB
year,
only helps though.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't have that number 2 years ago.
Yeah. And if he steps up and he does what he does, watch out. Watch out, because I'm going to warn all you NBA teams out there now, all the teams in the East, you do not want to face this Knicks team, especially at MSG. If we could make a playoff game.
I said it.
Maybe even not even get into.
I said jokingly. I said that finals game at MSG is going to bankrupt us, but it's going to be fucking worth it. All right.
Maybe not even getting into the building, just being
on the streets.
Just being in the city and the streets for that. Words can't express it.
No.
But just for
this Knicks team.
Just give me one Knicks championship in my lifetime because
I want to get greedy. I want all of them.
Insane. More than anything, I want a Jets championship. Always Florida State and the Red Sox, but I don't know if any of them will hit as hard. Talking about the entire fan base and just how crazy
that parade.
Is that going to happen in 2023? We don't know. We'll talk to you in a couple months about it. From Basement Sports, Corey Plasky, Matthew Pollock.
King of Knicks fans, don't forget it. I didn't say it. How's the highlights did?
Mount Rushmore.
Relax.
Subscribe, like, comment, follow us on all social medias. Follow us on TikTok to see more crazy shit.
Go New York, go New York, go!
Thank you. I'm so fucking hungry. Clean up, clean.